I'm Vikki Chowney, and you join us here at Heroes of the Mobile Screen on the BFI at London Southbank. We've just seen a fantastic youth panel, and I'm joined by our two panellists, Nick and Rachel. Guys, what just happened?
Well, basically, we were presented with 4 or 5 products, tele communication products, and we had to decide what we thought were really good about them and what was really bad about them, and what could be improved, and where we thought if there was a gap in the market, if it would appeal to us or it wouldn't. And that was basically the gist of our session.
Okay, and did you do any preparation at all, or anything that you had to get ready beforehand?
Yeah, initially we had to create a slideshow of everything we liked, so people that we were interested in, what phones we use, pictures of ourselves, and I think it was really nice for the people to see what we're interested in before they talk to us, because they could get a bit of a sense of how we would respond. If I was a bubbly person, I show a picture of something like cinema, because I love talking about movies, so they know that I'm going to talk a lot. So I think it was really important to do that.
Fantastic. And okay, so of the 5, were there any that you really liked?
Yeah, there was a brilliant presentation, and the company was called Fluke, I think. And what that was, it was this application where if you see something by fluke, or you see something by chance that you think is really important, really special, that you want to put on the internet. So, for example, say I see an amazing view of London, like you may or may not be able to see. You can take a photo of that and put it on the internet, and that's for everyone to see. And then you can have a conversation on the back of the photograph, saying, I saw this, or go there at like 9 o'clock and it will be an amazing view. It was just a way of interacting with everyone through the means of photograph, and I thought that was a really, really good idea. I really liked that one.
I thought the same as well. I mean, you walk across something and by chance you see it's the most amazing vision, like maybe a most amazing bird is landing in front of you, and you want to take a picture and post it on the internet straight away. But we can't do that at the moment. We have to go through Facebook or MySpace or whatever, and it takes a while. But if you have an app, have an iPhone, then you can do it automatically. I thought it was really great. There's also another one called Pay by Mobile, which is if you're out and about and you see something you like and you have a credit on this, you have your own wallet and there's money in this account, and you, instead of filling out loads of details like HSBC, your code and everything, you can just ask to pay for it, and they send you a text and it goes through, and that's it. And I thought it was really interesting, really quick and easy.
Cool. Now, I have to say, it's quite rare that at these kind of events you actually get people pitching their kind of youth-targeted applications to teenagers. Do you think that's quite a good way to do it, or would you just expect that everyone would talk to their kids if they're going to create an application that's targeted at them?
No, I think this is a brilliant way of trying to engage with the current industry, and I think that's probably one of the problems where when we're not satisfied with our technology, like our BlackBerry or our phone or whatever. I think that's usually because there's a breakdown in communication between the user and the producer, and I think that's what was brilliant about this session, is that both parties could bring their knowledge of what's current and what's appropriate, and bring that together and create a much more efficient and useful product. And I think it's a brilliant way to do market research and really research what the current population wants, rather than what the producers think the current population want.
And while you were up on stage, you told us which phones you had and which ones you thought were cool. Would you mind just telling us again? Yeah,
sure. I have the BlackBerry Bold, which I got as an upgrade, and I do think it's a really good phone. It's really efficient, it doesn't usually break. BlackBerry Messenger is really convenient when I'm trying to sort out my social plans. I'd say the disadvantage of my BlackBerry, though, is that people can always find me, and it's always I'm easily accessible for people who also have a BlackBerry, and that is very annoying at times.
I currently have a BlackBerry as well. I love it because if I'm usually out and about all the time, and if I need important emails, I can open them and send one back straight away. I really like it, but I'm kind of leaning towards iPhone a bit because it's so cool, and but the touchscreen might annoy me. But I think all the apps you can get is just something you can't get on a BlackBerry, and it's just so futuristic. It's amazing.
And do you mind if I asked if you pay for your own contracts?
Right. I share it half and half with my parents, so it's half-half.
I don't, but if I go over, I have to pay.
That's good. I think that's fair. And so you're both on contract?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, cool. And was there anything particularly from the panel that you didn't like at all, that you just didn't think worked?
At the time, I really didn't like the Animentals idea because I thought that was really irrelevant to our age. Then afterwards, I thought about it, and I even had to apologise to the guy because when I think back to my childhood, if like I played on Tamagotchi or something, that was relevant then to me. And his idea, his innovation was basically he was modernising the Tamagotchi, which I thought is really relevant to people of that age. And for me, obviously now I wouldn't play on it, but I do think it's relevant. So I'd say even though I didn't like it at the time, I really didn't like it at the time, I think I'd take that back.
I thought, I can't remember the name of it, but the new equivalent of an iTunes. Yeah, Persona. Yeah, I thought it was a bit complicated. It was trying to do too much in one thing. I don't know, for people like me who just want to get, their laptop on and listen to music, it's just quick and simple. I have iTunes and I have Spotify if I want to get it on my iPod. I just think this thing was a bit, I don't know, it had too much on it and it was a bit complicated.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much for joining us, guys. Hey, so I'm now joined by Rebecca and Shibs, who are two other panellists on the youth session at Heroes of the Mobile Screen. Guys, were there any particular pitch that you really liked and you thought you would use in the future?
Fluke. I'm going to use Fluke when I get home. I'm going to use Fluke. And what's the other one called?
And the
Persona. Yeah, that's it. I'm going to use Persona when I get home. I'm going to use that as well.
I think that Fluke and Persona was the two favourites for me because I like publicising and that, and like music. It was just in my category, like really good. Yeah.
And while you were in the session, you told us which phones you used. Would you mind just telling us again which phone you have?
Like he's got a simple phone, but I kind of like the high tech stuff. I like the Blackberries and the Sony Ericssons. Like I like those high tech stuff. He just wants a phone for like calling and stuff like that. Yeah.
What phone have you got?
We keep it simple. A phone is to make phone calls. It's not about your application, your MP3, and your pixels. No, if the signal's rubbish, then what's the point of a phone? It's not a phone, is it?
So handy if you got a phone that can do everything. If you got a phone that can take really good pictures and that's what it's all about. Like a phone these days are not just for calling and that, because you're going to be carrying a simple phone that's just to call, and then your camera that can just drop and break up. It's just like good to just have it all in one.
Blackberry, yeah?
Yeah.
Have you got a Blackberry now?
No,
you want one?
Yeah.
And do you mind me asking, do you use pay-as-you-go top-up or are you on a contract?
Pay as you go. 5-day pass, T-Mobile. Keep it simple.
Yeah.
Same here.
Yeah.
5-day pass, T-Mobile.
And do you guys buy your own top-up or do your parents get it for you?
I get my own top up. I'm 19 tomorrow, come on.
I wish my parents would buy it, but sadly they don't.
That's great. Thank you so much, guys. So the panel seemed to go down really well with the teenagers involved. Do you think it was beneficial to the people pitching?
Yeah, I do. I think a lot of their assumptions got knocked back quite quickly. The winner quote for me was, well, why would I change? To the mobile payment startup said, this is a really new way of paying. And one of the guys on the panel said, well, why would I change? I'm not just going to think I fancy a change. And what was lacking in quite a lot of the pitches was something that would actually attract the youth market actually to that application.
Yeah, and it's quite a rarity to come to events like this and actually see people pitching live in an open forum to their target audience.
Yeah, it was great, and I loved the fact that they'd obviously had done this a few times before, so they were really honest, they were really open, and you actually got their feedback straight away. And something that we've said afterwards, you forget that teenagers are as diverse as the rest of the mobile community as well. You need to service all of them individually as well. But there was several themes though that they weren't really very impressed by. Some of the things that we get most excited about. There wasn't an iPhone amongst them, for example.
But there were Blackberries, which quite surprised me.
Yeah, I was really surprised by that. But they had Blackberries not necessarily for all of the features of the BlackBerry, for BlackBerry messaging, which I'd never even considered would be something teenagers would be interested in using. So I think we need to go away and actually reevaluate some of these products in the light of what was said. I think it's going to be really interesting to see some of the write-ups that come out of this, to see how people interpret what they said, and also taken in conjunction with the panel earlier, the Mobile Youth Survey, where some of those numbers were absolutely amazing.
So all in all, a very good panel session here at Heroes of the Mobile Screen.
www.myspace.com/shiv.sh IVZDOTZ. Anyone want to get in contact?